Hello.
Yes, guys, it's your boy, Drew Walker,
It's your
aka
girl,
the Yorkshire
Eliza
Terrier. Aka the Yorkshire Terrier. I'm only kidding. So we had a little bit of spare time this afternoon.
150 yards, turn right onto Flash Lane.
So what we have decided is to add an addition
Head
to the
east on
UK
Air
gym
Court
tour.
towards Balmer Rise, then turn right
Together.
onto Balmer Rise.
Me and
In
Drizzy
150
MG.
yards, turn right onto
Drizzy
Flash
MW
Lane.
now,
Yep.
because we're married. Don't you forget.
Turn right onto Flash Lane.
So we're going to head to the Real Muscle Unit. Rob Taylor, aka the Barnsley Pitbulls Gym in Barnsley. Not too far for us, just over 30 minutes. I've known Rob since, I think it was 2014 when I met Rob. Rob was getting prepped by
In a
Chris
quarter of a
Wormley at the
mile,
time.
turn right onto Bawtry
I think
Road,
I maybe
A631.
still was, or I might have just sort of gone off on my own at that point, but I was still at Muscle Factory Swindon. So I met Rob. Rob absolutely smashed his first UK BFF shows and just continued to do so until he turned pro. I would imagine almost everyone in the bodybuilding community at this point knows Rob, so that's it. Head over to his gym.
Turn right
I'm
onto
on
Bawtry
pure
Road,
chest day today.
A631.
What are you doing today?
Upper today, a little bit of everything because I only do one upper body session a week.
What's your current split?
So my current split is legs, upper, rest, then I do
Bawtry Road, half a mile.
hamstrings and glutes, and then I have a sole glute day as well.
With the intention of
Building my glutes and hamstrings, because my feedback from my 2024 season was that I need bigger glutes and hamstrings. My quads are good, but my glutes and hamstrings have always sort of been my weaker area, which is not exactly something you want really when you compete in wellness. So we're trying to bring them up ready for the 2026 season.
So just a bit of background on Eliza's competing. We had 2021, 2022,
Yeah.
and then Eliza really came into her own in 2023, 2024.
Had a year off in 23 because, as most people will know, you don't make progress on a prep. So I took a year out and really focused on my training and actually eating in a surplus and trying to improve, which was very apparent when we started to get lean, weren't it? Like I remember getting halfway through my prep in 24 and saying to Drew, I don't know whether I'm going to be any better. And you know, Drew sort of said to me, keep going, I think you are going to be better, but you're not at the point yet where we're going to be able to see whether you've made any improvements yet. So
And it did come through.
yeah, it did.
It's really tough sometimes, and we do always say you don't fully appreciate the progress you've made until you are stage ready. And towards the end of that prep, we really did start to realise that Eliza had made significant progress. She went to PCA Manchester. Well, she did the Ultraflex Open first, but there was no one there because that show was new. But that was a very, very good look. And then she went to PCA Manchester and she took a really, really close second to Chelsea Warnes, who went on to turn pro a week or so after. And then we had another little bit of a tough slog. Eliza had already been prepping nearly 12 months at this point. But she soldiered through onto the Britain and took a 5th at the PCA Britain. So the goal at the minute is to get that little bit of improvement, place one place better at a regional and win a regional, and sort of be cracking that top 3 and knocking on the door of a PCA Wellness British title. So that's the plan for Eliza. I think it's a very realistic plan, but we just need to put that size on, and the longer we wait, the better she'll be. So that's it, head down, grow time, and then we'll start prep. Pause it.
Pause.
If you want, I'll just keep running.
Well, I just think we should just keep going. Keep going.
In half a mile, at junction
What's the hot
32,
topic
take
right
the
now?
M1 exit to Sheffield, leave.
What can we talk about? in this
Top
drive?
3 glute exercises and why?
Top 3 glute exercises. Right, so I've always actually really struggled to connect with my glutes. Like, I probably only,
Exit at junction 32.
I remember getting halfway through my prep in 24 and saying to you, I feel like I'm starting to feel my glutes for the first time ever, which is
Continue on M1 for
ridiculous
70
really, but
miles.
I actually think top 3 glute exercises, it really just depends on your mechanics. Like, I'm really quad dominant, so like some people would argue that squats are really good for your glutes, but I don't feel anything at all in my glutes when I squat because I'm so quad dominant. Like, if I don't isolate my glutes with a direct glute exercise, like, I do struggle to connect with them. So for me, my top glute exercises are a kickback, a hip thrust, or a glute drive, and I would probably say a split squat. Even though my quads do come into that, I still do like get a really good connection with my glutes with a split squat.
Do you lean a bit more forward on a split squat for glutes?
No, I kind of stay quite upright and kind of drive my glute towards my heel.
Yeah.
Because it depends whether I'm doing like a Bulgarian split squat or whether I'm just doing a normal split squat.
Do you try and push through
The heel.
the heel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, sort of towards failure. I do start to feel it in my quads a little bit, but that still doesn't take away the fact that my glutes are working as well. What about you? Because you brought your glutes up quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I think so. In regards to my split, for the majority of this prep, I did a bit of the Dorian Yates 4-day split. So I had legs on a Monday, chest and biceps on a Tuesday, a rest day, back, and then shoulders and triceps. So that was the original 4-day that I was probably running at the end of my growing phase into prep. Then at some point during prep, I kind of added a second leg day, which did have the glute focus, but what it's kind of become is the Monday leg day being more quad focused, and then the Wednesday leg day being calf, glutes and hams. Because basically what I found on a full leg day is calves, hamstrings, quads, glutes, abductors and adductors is just a mammoth
Long
session.
day, isn't it?
Yeah, and then inevitably certain body parts become a little bit of an afterthought and they don't get enough care and attention, enough volume, direct volume, overall volume, enough variety of exercises. So that Wednesday day has become calves, hamstrings and glutes. I love a stiff leg deadlift. I do like a stiff leg deadlift, and I can connect with my glutes quite a lot at the top of that.
Yeah, I do as well.
And then within the entirety of that session, when I then move on to a glute drive and a glute kickback, I do really think I've got a very good, direct, well-rounded glute workout in there then. And like Eliza mentioned earlier, I actually think I've brought my glutes up a little bit on this prep. Probably from a good amount of training volume and a good amount of protein, a good amount of rest. I've really prioritised my sleep pattern. But I'm very, very excited to carry that approach on in a surplus, and I think I can bring my glutes up even more, because what bringing my glutes up a bit has done has led to the condition being there, which is something that I've always struggled with. So
Yeah, the bigger the muscle, the leaner it's going to look.
yeah, I think that's the top tip for anyone that's maybe struggling with a specific body part, especially bringing glutes in. You've got to really spend some time focusing on them direct, because at the end of the day, if you don't and they're not where they need to be, then what excuse have you got really? So I think that's brought mine up, having that second day. And then what I've done more recently is gone full bro split 2.0 and took the biceps and triceps off chest and shoulders and put them on their own day. So at the minute it's a 6-day split. But I love the concept of being able to really focus on a specific area. It's fueled up when you start training, and it's recovered immediately after, without pinning other body parts on the end that are maybe hindering recovery or using up fuel prior to getting to that body part. So for a direct male bodybuilder split, I like that one. For an all-round physique, because obviously I'm trying to build every single body part to the max, whereas Eliza's split is a bit more angled towards having the heavier lower because she's in the wellness class. So you have got to have a specific split for yourself. And as always, if you're struggling at all with any of that, just fire us a message over. And like, it's not specifically that Eliza's fantastic at dealing with wellness and I'm fantastic at dealing with male bodybuilders, because I mean, what percentage of your clients are male bodybuilders?
A lot. I've got more men, I would say, on the team.
And you've had a lot of success. Like, you were very close to a PCA Pro card, weren't you, this year with Josh?
With Josh, yeah.
Josh is a fantastic bodybuilder with fantastic genetics, but no one's ever managed to get him on stage until he came to see Eliza, and Eliza just said, do me a favour and listen to what I'm going to tell you, and we'll get you on stage. And he's done 2 seasons now and almost scraped a PCA Pro card this year. So
and he's flying now, like continuing with his own training and stuff with that, because Josh has always kind of been one to sort of put a goal in place, and then once he achieves that goal, then kind of like dropped off a little bit. But he's doing really well at being consistent now on his own.
He still likes to ask you for some help.
He does. We'll always help him out anyway.
It was very much an environment thing with Josh.
Yeah.
I think he'd been in a few, for want of a better generalisation, negative environments where people were almost like, you won't compete, or you won't be able to compete, whereas when he kind of came into our environment, we were like, look mate, we will do whatever we can to help you compete, whatever you need. So,
which we do for a lot of people, don't we, to be fair?
Yeah, absolutely. We like to think we have and we do create an environment where some people might not normally be able to compete without that environment. So it's a little bit different at the minute now. We've not got the gym, because the gym absolutely provided a hub for that. But it's not significantly different, is it really?
No.
We still manage. People just come to his house now for a pep talk, or for the environment. But we're still working on the premise for the new gym. I think logically after the completion of Wrexham, I think Manchester is probably going to come next, which is cool because we're kind of moving over from the west, central Manchester, and then again it's like a natural progression to the east. So we'd have a nice spread across the north of England, which would be cool. It's got to be the right building. The building is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, there's it's got to be right, it's got to have plenty of parking, it's got to have a high roof, and then finding all these things, and then the landlord being happy with us changing the class of the building. Like, it can take years to find the right place, but you know, we're still looking every day.
I think Wrexham took about 2 years from finding the unit to finish. So we've still the original unit we found, which, apart from the fact that the classification needs changing, which we actually already put an application in for. I mean, it's almost perfect, isn't it, that one?
Yeah.
Like, Nick really likes that one. They have got their existing tenant in there till December, and I mean, time flies, we're already on September, so they've got a couple more months before the contract ends with the existing tenant who's not in there. I think at that point the landlord gets 6 months before he has to start paying rates, but maybe if Manchester gets turned around relatively quick in the next 6 months, then maybe that'll time right with the original unit we found, because we like the location, the car parking is phenomenal, the building itself is a fantastic building. It's got a little bit too much internal in at the minute, but we'd be quite happy as long as the landlord was to take a little bit of that out and put a nice mezzanine in. But it's a very, very aesthetic building that fits with the Bodytech image. So you never know, everything happens for a reason. There's a lot of right place at the right time. Maybe that one will still be the one.
Maybe.
But we definitely think it's a good one, that one. So if it's meant to be, it'll be.
we going in 4 weeks?
So we are all officially entered, flights and accommodation booked for 4 days in Milan for the purpose of bringing my best physique again to the amateur Olympia in Milan. So the thought process behind that, one of which is that I quite like the idea of travelling to different countries through bodybuilding. So Italy is a country that I've not been to yet, so it's nice to get that ticked off. The amateur Olympia is definitely a level of show, a pro qualifier that he's absolutely on a bucket list for just the experience and achievements to compete there. So that's another reason. There's 30 pro cards, which generally means there's 3 pro cards in the bodybuilding classes. You've got middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight and super heavyweight. So say for example there's 4 good winners, potentially 3 of those are getting a card. So in some ways there's a higher chance of getting a card, but with it being a high level show it potentially balances itself out. But the goal as always is to bring the best physique. I would love to win the heavyweight class. Winning a heavyweight class at a pro qualifier would absolutely be a big jump in the right direction for me. And if a card came from that, it'd be a dream come true. So everyone keeps telling me how much I should have a card, but until you've got it, it's a little bit different. I feel like I was born a pro bodybuilder and I've always operated as a pro bodybuilder, and the only thing that's left is a little bit of the right place at the right time, and I'll get that card. So, and then I'll continue to operate like I do every day as a pro bodybuilder. I weighed in at 97 in Wigan. 212 pros, 96. That was an evening weigh-in, so I know I can get a little bit sharper, and I honestly believe I can be competitive as a 212 pro. So just got to get that card first. I thought there was a pro show at the Amateur Olympia, and I don't think there's a pro for bodybuilding. I think it's just a couple of a women's class and a men's physique and a men's classic class. So for example, if I did get a card, it wouldn't be an option to do one there. What I think I will do, regardless of the result, is I'll be going to the 2 Bros British finals. So I will either be in the heavyweights, or if everything goes to plan and I get the card, I will do the pro class. Again, I don't think there's a 212, but I'll be more than happy to jump in my first pro show in the Open at the Britain if that's how it pans out. So that'd be cool.
Good.
Very cool. And
Competing as a pro in your home country as well is just cool anyway, isn't it?
I do feel like if you are a pro, and it times that you are on prep when there's a pro show in your country, you've almost got a moral obligation to be at that show and contribute towards it and build bodybuilding in a positive manner. So yeah, there'd be no way I would be getting a card and skipping that one, regardless of 212 or Open. My daughter was reminding me on the school run this morning that she's not coming to Italy, which she's not very happy about. So I've promised her that Bradford is happening regardless, because she's dying to watch me do a show again this year. So she's 7 now, so she's like she's getting it a little bit more, isn't she?
She does get it.
She says she wants me to be famous. And like she loves that we do the videos and stuff, so that's cool. But yeah, she's dying to come and cheer me on in Bradford. So
In 2 miles,
again, regardless of whether it's in the heavyweight amateurs or the pro class, it'd be a dream come true to be wrapping this year up with a pro class at the Britain and my daughter watching, and obviously my wife. So kind of first day back on a plan, on a deficit yesterday. Body weight's up a little bit, which was part of the plan, just to fill me out a little bit and make sure that I'm not digging myself right into a hole for the next 4 weeks and potentially losing a bit or coming in a bit flat. So everything's going to plan. We've got just under four good weeks to just dig in, get back to where we were, which shouldn't take long for Wigan.
2 weeks.
And then get another 10% past that. I was doing a weekly refeed prior to Wigan, and I think we'll just take that week by week, whether or not I need to do that or whether or not I need to just keep pulling it down, because while the weekly refeed absolutely doesn't make me regress in any manner, it does add a little bit of weight. And I suppose, I don't think it slows progress down at all. It just, weight goes up a little bit for a couple of days and then it comes back down to baseline, and then it often ends up lower the following week. So as long as condition improves. But that's, for the last 4 weeks, that's definitely something to assess each week. I normally check in. I check in pretty much every day with Eliza, to be honest, but we'll probably go for a bit more stricter Sunday check-in where we say, right, this is where the weight's at, this is where the physique's at. Too much chat. What do we need to do? So that's the plan. That's the plan for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
It might have to be a bit more of a dig than what it has been over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, I've got to be in condition without a shadow of a doubt. I was good at Wigan, but for example, the guy that won was sharper. So would me being a little bit sharper have picked me over him? I think he probably would, to be honest. And the conditional will come naturally anyway, but it's just, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful not to push too much for it as well, haven't you? Mm-hmm. But again, that's where the assessment every week comes in.
There are police reported ahead.
We're not going to sacrifice losing size for trying to get condition that's not going to come through.
But you have got to be in condition.
You have.
You do see some people that are clearly trying too hard not to sacrifice too much size and coming in soft. But I'm already not soft, but we've got high standards, which you should do, because we're doing high level shows, so we just got to turn up on. I think as well, like, we would like to push to be a bit sharper so that we can potentially afford to maybe do a small amount of filling on the day.
Yeah.
I fill up very, very quick. For example, if I'm having an off-plan day and I eat one higher meal,
you can see it straight away within 20 minutes.
You can see it immediately. And then the counter to that is, by the end of that day, I can go fairly soft as well. And then be dry again the next day, but that's it's a risky game, that one. It's not a game that I like playing, that one. So I think we'll look at options for running a higher carb, maybe higher water, higher salt breakfast meal, and really focusing on getting the intra in quick.
Yeah, I think that was one of.
It ended up a bit rushed, didn't it, at Wigan? Like, yeah. We're not gonna lie, like we went from. You went
backstage, and you think you've got like a good 45 minutes to an hour, and before you know it, you're getting called for your glaze, and then you're on.
Yeah.
Which is cool, because a lot of the times, especially when I compete, because wellness is usually the last class or very, very near to the last class of the day, you are just waiting around for such a long time.
My upper just lacked a little bit of wow, didn't it?
It did. I don't feel like you had enough time to pump up. You didn't get all your intra in, which I wanted you to do. And I think because we were pushing for condition, because we knew we weren't, obviously after 12 weeks of dieting, we knew you weren't going to be completely where we wanted you to be. We knew that we needed to come in a little bit drier and sharper to make sure that you were getting in that top 3 spot.
Road for 3/4 of a mile.
And it obviously worked, because we had Big Mac in third, who is legitimately one of the most heavily muscled men that I've ever seen in my life. And like, bodybuilding is all about opinions, and my opinion of Mac is that he's absolutely phenomenal, and it's almost a bit of a pinch me moment when I have the ability to place above someone like Mac. But it is an example of what bodybuilding isn't all about muscle. Like, you have got to be conditioned. You have
Condition
got to
is
have.
king at the end of the day. Like, you can be the biggest one there, but if you're not in condition, you're not going to place very well.
You've got to have balance. You've got to work on presentation. Obviously, I am a significantly more experienced bodybuilder than Mac. I mean, Mac's a baby. I think he's 27, been competing for 3 years. To be where he is mind-blowing. And I do think he is pro potential, and he will be a pro in future. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever.
Take the 4th exit.
But yeah, it just shows you, like, because you can beat yourself up a little bit sometimes. You maybe see these guys online that are pure perfect muscle mass and think, oh, I can't compete with that. But you work with what you've got. You come in, you work on your weak points over time, you work on your presentation. I mean, presentation's one that anyone can work on presentation. All that takes is time, a little bit of time and a little bit of effort. There's no genetics and not really a lot of significant hard work in that. It's just putting the time into presentation.
I've seen some absolutely amazing physiques not even place because the posing and the presentation is diabolical, which is sad, really. But if you don't know how to showcase what you've got, you're not going to do very well.
So hire a coach.
Yeah, it is really important to.
You spend a lot of time on presentation with your clients.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, because it can literally be the making or the breaking of you. You know, like, I've seen people with very average, mediocre physiques win shows because their presentation of their physique just draws that much attention to them. You don't even look at anybody else because they've just nailed their presentation for their physique. And then, you know, on the other end of the scale to that, I've seen people who should have won shows not even place because the presentation of their own physique is diabolical.
Crazy, really.
It is, really.
It's a shame to see sometimes.
It is a shame to see, but that is the nature of the beast, because if you don't come with a complete package, you know, you're going to struggle.
I actually think I present my physique a little bit better than what it actually is, because I think my presentation's very good. Or I present it to its max.
Onto Harbour Hill Road. Continue for half a mile.
Like, you see some guys that are pure, or girls, pure. They look immense in the gym. They look immense on snapshots. But you get them on stage and they almost fade away a little bit. And then there's other people that just stand out, and we often say to people, you have to peacock, like, you have to come out
Use the middle lane
with
Old Mill Lane, A61.
With the impression that you have already won, that you are the winner, and that, like, judges at that point have to almost justify to themselves that you are not the winner. Like, that's a very powerful first impression to make when you come out on stage. See that place, then cow and cream burgers and shit.
A61, then continue straight onto Old Mill
They
Lane.
look nice.
Continue straight onto Old Mill Lane, A61.
We're in Barnsley now. In Buritic Care.
Continue on A61 for 1 mile.
My dad and granddad grew up in Barnsley, so I went to a few Barnsley matches when I was younger, so there's a bit of Barnsley in me. Bit of Barnsley Pitbull.
Lovely.
Lovely. You're a chef, aren't you?
Chef.
S6. S1.
I don't know what my postcode was. Anyone from Swallownest, what's your postcode?
I think it might be S1.
Is it?
Or is it just S6? When I were at Kimberworth, it were S6 because it's close to Chef. Rotherham's S60, isn't it?
Swallownest is where I was born.
What's diet looking like at the minute?
Mine or yours?
Yours?
We shouldn't really be talking about that. It's not very good at the moment. Well, no, it is. I really need to get my food up. My best friend Sophie cooks me my whole food meals. She drops them off for me every week because she's an absolute legend. I would probably eat McDonald's every day if she didn't at this moment in time because I'm too busy to prep my own food. But I have 2 shakes.
I'd have to do it for you.
Yeah, you would. I have 2 shakes at the minute and 2 whole food meals. I should really have 3 whole food meals and my 2 shakes, but I have been a little bit poorly for the past week or so my appetite has been a bit rubbish. But I am going to focus this week on trying to introduce that meal back in. Because it's important, and like I'm not going to get any more size on if I don't push my food up.
I don't believe in too much of a surplus though.
No.
More isn't always better. Eliza definitely needs to focus on whole food proteins, which she has been doing. And like we had this chat last night about, as we all do, Eliza wants to make more progress than what she's making, which is fair, like we all do. So we say, where's food at, where's training at, where are peds at, and then it's like, how long have we been doing that? Because sometimes, yeah, we're all a little bit impatient and we want to rush, but sometimes it's just about doing it for more time. Like I've had a couple of years where
Some nice trucks in there.
I know, there, look, that grey Ranger. That grey one's right nice.
Maybe we should have a look on the way back.
I know, I bought a car from here before though, didn't I? And it's just a bit of a ball ache to come back to Barnsley every time. Oh, that grey one's right nice. Yeah, maybe we should come here actually.
They look like they've got more choice.
Yeah, they do. They do. Should we buy a car? Let's buy a car.
Yeah.
Buy a car on the way back.
Why not?
I'll ring BMW, take that M3. So yeah, sometimes I've not particularly ate more food or trained anymore or took any more peds, but it's just time. One thing that no one wants to do is do something for more time, especially in a sport where when we're talking about time, we're talking about another year, not just another month. Like, but that's bodybuilding, unfortunately. It takes a long time to make extreme progress to a physique or figure. So Eliza's doing everything that she needs to do. She's probably a little bit hard on herself saying that she needs to do X, Y, and Z more. She potentially needs to get that egg meal in the morning instead of having a shake. But at the end of the day, whey protein is just another source of protein.
In a quarter of a mile, at Athersley South
You maybe get a little bit of a better
continue
amino
straight
acid
onto Wheatfield
profile
Road,
and potentially some
A61.
essential fats from using, for example, eggs for a meal instead of whey.
I need to be having the whey meal and the egg meal.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely, yeah.
like substituting eggs for whey. I should be having both. But
Let's do it then.
I know. I'm going to. I'm going to.
Just do it.
I'm going to. I
Just
might
get
need to
big.
just put it in.
Just get lean.
I might just need to put it in later in the day.
Yeah.
Because
What, the eggs?
yeah.
Yeah, have whey first and then have eggs a bit later on.
Eggs
Not
after
everyone
training.
likes eating first thing in the morning.
That's what it is.
Especially in an off
struggle
season.
with.
It's alright for me
Right,
now. I
onto
think
Wheatfield
everyone
Road.
should be able to fucking devour meals because I'm starving. But you do get to that point in prep where you wake up and the last thing you want to do is be trying to force
Four
eggs
eggs.
down, yeah. But my diet's been the same since the beginning of prep, really.
Since the beginning of time.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna say.
My entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever get bored of chicken and rice? Well,
Been eating
I'm
it for
18.
16
I'm 18 years in, and I'm not, so probably not. But we've got eggs and salmon for breakfast. That on sourdough. That is my favourite meal by a country mile. In general, and then coupled with the fact that I've just done 45 minutes to an hour fasted cardio, it definitely hits the spot. And a coffee. I still have a double espresso with 5 grams of sugar. That's my one for the day.
Going straight on here, Bob. Straight on here.
Says we can do both. concede to the wife. So yeah, and then an hour or so later, that's when I'll have my pre/intra, which is 30 gram of carbs, 10 gram of EAA, 10 gram of pump, 10 gram of creatine, 10 gram of glutamine. Immediately post-workout, I'll have 2 scoops of whey isolate and 1 scoop of instant oats, which comes out at 50 protein, 50 carbs. I have a bit of fruit with that as well. I still have 1 apple with that. And then meal, what we would probably class as meal free, 300 gram of chicken, 50 grams of carbs from rice, and another 100 grams of fruit, which is normally pineapple. And that's where my carbs finish for the day. So we've got breakfast carbs, intra carbs, post-workout carbs, and post-workout post-workout meal 1. They are all roughly about 50 carbs, which puts my carbs at 200 for the day, and that's where the carbs stop, which is normally at about 2 o'clock. And then I have a good long stint with no carb and insulin spike, salmon and veg, 200 gram of steak and 2 eggs, and then just 2 scoops of whey isolate again before bed. We are toying with the idea, because I'm getting hungry and I'm struggling a bit spreading meals out. We are looking at adding in a turkey meal, because I seem to respond very well to high protein as well. Like it really seems to suit my physique, my energy, my digestion, to prioritise protein over carbohydrate, even if I kind of err on the line of eating too much protein. So
No such thing.
yeah, so we're at like 360 protein, 200 carb, 100 fat, and we're looking at potentially going to 400 protein. So here we are at the muscle unit. Not a bad drive. So I'm going to hit some chest. Liza's going to hit some upper. I think what we'll probably do, because this video has been so long, is we'll run this as a car chat video solo, and we will cut a little bit out of it to put into the muscle unit UK gym tour video. So we'll see you inside.